Somebody asked me in the break here, and this, how do you use, protect yourself from negative energies and things like that, and negative attacks and things like that, and whether you're working on yourself or working on somebody else that you think may have a problem like that. And this could come from another person who could be a powerful natural psychic who is just brooding on you. You get some people who are very hateful, and they brood on you, and just like every night they sit down and get the voodoo doll out and, you know, symbolically, and then just, you know, strangle you. And it can really have an effect on you. But the regardless of where the negative energies are coming from, the working with affirmations, your higher self / source / creator of the universe holds all the power. This is the big guns. And if you get your higher self working with you, it is, you know, it's the ultimate power in the universe. Now, the correct way of doing this to shield yourself like that is, one, you can say, my natural shielding is perfect. My natural shielding is perfect. But also you would say, I am relaxed and happy. I'm focused and grounded. My life is happy. My natural shielding is perfect. It's like you work around it. You don't directly go to it and say, I am shielded from negative forces. You could say that, but it's like smoking. I've been working on giving up smoking for the last few weeks with affirmations. And I have a very strong smoking addiction going back to, I started smoking when I was 8. In England. And but now I like to use things like this and, you know, experience the journey and find a new way of doing it. And I've been doing affirmations every day, just for a couple of minutes a day, that my lungs are pink and healthy, my lungs are strong and healthy. And I've found over the last 2 weeks, normally I wake up in the morning and the first thought that's in my mind is get up and have a pipe, you know, the first thing in the morning. And, you know, everything else aside, I put the coffee on and go outside and have a quick pipe, and it continues from there. And that's always the first thing on my mind. But most days now when I wake up, for the last 2 weeks, I find I get up and I have a cup of coffee and wash my face and that. And at times an hour and a half has gone by and I think, oh, I forgot to have a pipe. I forgot. And when I didn't really need one, and it's sort of like fading away. And it's you know, it's like amazing. And this it's just an example of how this works. Whether you're working on reducing your weight, putting on weight, eating more healthily. I eat healthy. I love healthy food, and you'll find you'll start being attracted more to salads and green things than you are to pizza and McDonald's. And so you keep the principle in mind. Often you need to work around a subject. Now, the only way that your higher self can manifest what you want, your lungs are pink and healthy and strong, is for you to give up smoking. Now, if you say it directly, you can cause a confusion there. But smoking, I give up smoking, I don't smoke, that can be interpreted as I smoke. It can actually reinforce a condition. So work around the edges. It's a bit like affirmations. You could say, ask yourself a question, why am I a non-smoker? Why am I so good at giving up smoking? Something like that. But there's various ways of working around it. And the key is use alternatives if you get any resistance inside of here, which if you're an addicted smoker can be quite strong. You can say, I don't smoke, I'll give up smoking, and burble. Your stomach doesn't agree with that because you've got a lot of programming and many years of habits inside of you that this is what you do. But it's programming. But you can break that programming by working with your higher self. So we'll keep talking for another 5 minutes when we finish our coffees. I see a lot of you, like me, have got a coffee, and we'll do some more energy work. There's a couple of more advanced techniques I want to work on today, which I can't bring in till the third day, because it just doesn't work. Yes, microphone. Oops. It helps.
There you go. We spoke about doing the affirmations for someone else.
Yes.
What about the folks that just want you to heal them? They don't want to take ownership of their own healing process. Do we affirm that they take ownership, or do we affirm to heal them? Which would be the better approach?
Good thinking. That's a good approach here. A lot of the ways I'm using affirmation, this workshop here now is consolidating my work for the last year and a half and my life journey up to this point here. And a lot of the ideas that are coming out are great. Yes, absolutely. If you're working with somebody, and a lot of people you come across as a healer won't do anything to help themselves. I mean, it's like almost impossible to get them to go out and, take a 10-minute walk each day, to do anything to help themselves. They get stuck in this programmed rut, and it's like they can't get out of it. So doing affirmations for that, you could say your patient is motivated and active. My patient is relaxed and happy. My patient exercises every day. And I think that would absolutely help them, because it's a way of focusing distance healing, you could say, which we all know works very, very well. It's a way of focusing that for a specific intent. So it fine-tunes the lens on what we actually want to happen. And say sometimes you need to work around a problem. Like, I think the same thing would apply if you were giving healing to somebody to help them give up smoking. You wouldn't say, John does not smoke, John does not like smoking. You would say, John's lungs are pink and healthy, and life will find a way to achieve that. And this works in line with, the old saying, you've got to be careful what you wish for. Yeah. If you just try and manifest money in a very non-specific way, you say, I receive hundreds of thousands of dollars, or whatever. You're manifesting money only. The quickest way that life might bring that to you is maybe you have a car accident, and paying the insurance payout is exactly what you asked for. Now, you wouldn't want that. It's a bit of a painful way to get money. So being more specific about it helps. That fine-tunes the universal law here that's at work. You would say, I earn $100,000 this year. I earn $100,000. So you're doing it for your work, for your earnings, not through any other way. Now, I've had people who do this and they put fine print at the bottom of it. They say, I am rich and wealthy and this sort of thing, and then they put the fine print in. But this comes naturally and does not hurt anybody and this sort of thing. And all the fine print down there, and I thought to myself, well, knowing what I know of working with the higher self, it's not going to listen to the fine print, which you will tend to rattle off. It becomes like a litany. This will come to me without hurting anybody sort of thing. It's no power in the words. There's no... So, being being very specific is what life needs. And if you want to earn $100,000, you might say in the next year, you may or may not get it in the next year. But what will happen if you put the work in there, your income will start to increase towards that point. It may not happen within a year, but it will start heading that way. Because it's more specific, this is like the best that universal law can do, given what it's got to work with. In the time frame, it's not going to fit, so something has to give. Like with just manifesting money, universal law uses the car accident to bring you that money. It couldn't do it in another way, because you set a time frame on it and say this is the best way to achieve that. So, if you make the statement very clear that you earn the money or receive it as a gift from somebody, or be very, very specific, then universal law will work much more specifically for you. And it's fascinating working with this. And the people I inspire to actually put the work into this, as I've been telling you all weekend here, are getting miracle results with this. It's absolutely amazing. And I love it. Oh, one over here. Yes?
I wanted to ask again, if you could reiterate what are protective mechanisms when going to sleep, silk sheets, what else? I did not quite understand about the water stuff. And
okay, you really need to read my book, Practical Psychic Self-Defense. That lays it out very, very clearly. You'll also find a lot of stuff on my website, which is astraldynamics.com. I've got tutorials there and my latest work appearing there in articles on the light, and all the links and reference points for magnets and the sleepingearth.com and all that. And my blog, which isn't on those forms, I don't think, the flyers you were handed out here. It's blog.astraldynamics.com. That's where I play. You'll find dozens of hours of videos and audio recordings, all free to download, and articles, a few jokes, and I just have fun there. Blogging's great, and I'm doing a lot more real-life recordings and that, and using my little mini video camera and that. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, like having your own little mini TV station and sharing with people. So go there. But all those things I was talking about, the electromagnetic, running water, electromagnetic, sleeping earth and that, all help, but absolutely the affirmations as well on being protected, being perfect, being relaxed and happy. Anything, this way, if you are experiencing negative effects of any kind, let's say it's making you anxious or depressed, the affirmation would be, to counter that would be, I am relaxed and happy, I am motivated, I'm focused, I'm grounded, and helps a lot. Grounding practices as well help a lot, and they usually involve getting physically in contact with the earth, the bare earth, the grass, and doing some kind of visualization to dump excess energy out of you and normalize your system. The body awareness actions we're learning here are very powerful for that as well, added to the visualizations you already do. So instead of imagining or visualizing a cord going down into the earth or your energy flowing away, you can actually feel that happening as well, which encourages the flow of energy. Eating helps as well, as if you get a serious ungrounded problem, and a glass of wine to settle you down, anything which will reduce the heightened activity. Because sometimes when you, through energy work and meditation and spiritual practice, you can release energies inside of you, release blockages, and activate Kundalini-related energies inside of you, which can cause you to become quite loopy. You can get really manic and sort of carried away and ungrounded. And, when that becomes noticeable, you need to take action, stop everything you're doing, focus on physical life and grounding, because unless you are grounded and focused, you are ineffective. Anything you could do or learn or do to help the world is not going to work if you're not grounded. On that point, I'd like to mention quickly, if you'd like to help the planet, as I said, having positive attitudes and positive expectations, optimistic about the future of the world, helps a lot. But the best way to help the planet and the people you know is to work on yourself. Because if you work on yourself, becoming more grounded, more balanced, more focused, more inspirational, more intuitive, more powerful, you will find as you grow spiritually inside of you to become a stronger, wiser person, you'll find that spreads out like ripples in a pond and affects everybody around you. And you may have a child or a teenager in the house or a partner that has problems, and you will find instead of trying to help them with their problems, a lot of people are very resistant to that. If you focus on your problems and growing yourself, by the act of growing, your energy field becomes a very calm, smoothing, healing, grounding effect on all the people around you. And you'll find just by working on yourself and making yourself better, the people around you automatically start to heal just because of that energy around you. And that's something I've learned over the years that it really works, particularly when you're trying to help other people. Help yourself first. And if you want to help the world, help yourself. And the more people that help each other, there's like a balance of, we've got 8 or 10 billion people in the world. I think a conservative estimate, probably around 8. And my research anyway. There's some kind of a critical mass there, I think, where you need so many millions of people to think positively about the future to manifest a positive future. And all of a sudden, people will start being a bit saner and nicer things start happening, and then we go forward into a nice, happy world future, which is looking a lot more hopeful now, particularly in this country. I love the energy over here now. It's really, really different till I was here a couple of months ago, and now it's like this really yummy energy over here. It's really optimistic and nice, and I love it. Hope that spreads to Australia soon. Mind you, Australia is pretty laid back, but in their laid backness, they're a bit lazy. I think they just let things happen, and it doesn't really affect me. So, right. Well, no more questions urgently. We'll get on to some more energy work. You're running out of time. Right. Just make yourself comfortable. We're just going to do a very quick prep at the moment. And if you hear any subliminal messages from me saying something like "you will buy Robert's Q-Link," just ignore them, okay? Just ignore them, It's just advertising. Yeah. I'm kidding. Right, just relax, close your eyes for a second. Focus on your breathing. Feel your stomach breathing. Feel your stomach rising and falling. Loosen your belt if it's tight. Belly breathing is one of the simplest and most effective forms of meditation. And it also focuses on your navel center, which is huge, and it's very, very grounding and centering. Focus on your breathing. In the Western world, we tend to be very oriented in the head area, and we get a lot of overstimulation in the higher centers and not enough stimulation in the lower centers, which can tend to cause an imbalance. So belly breathing is a good way to help that balance. Feel yourself breathing in, breathing out. Feel all the tension flowing out of your body. Feel yourself growing relaxed with every breath. I'm going to show you another type of breathing now. I want you to shift your attention now to the tip of your nose. Give it a little scratch on the tip of your nose, just to cause a residual sensation. Now switch your breathing over. No, don't focus on your belly. Focus on the tip of your nose. Breathe in through the nose and feel the air passing by the tip of the nose. As you breathe in and breathe out, you'll be aware of the air passing by the tip of the nose. And just focus your point of awareness on the tip of your nose. This type of breathing, which will cause more stimulation of the brow center and crown center and higher centers. But it's a good alternative to belly breathing, depending on what you want to do. Just feel it passing by the tip of your nose as you breathe in and out. It makes a little noise, causes a little sensation. It's easy to focus on. Now shift your body awareness, your point of awareness, about 1/2 inch out in front of the tip of your nose. Just a little bit outside of the nose. feel yourself breathing. Be aware of the sensation of the air moving past the tip of your nose, but hold your awareness slightly out. Now shift your attention to your hands, fingertips to wrists. Move your awareness through your hands, both hands simultaneously. Charge up your hands, fingertips to wrists. Focus on moving your energy through the whole of your hands, through the bones, muscle, not just the surface of your palms. Feel it moving deep within your hands, fingertips to wrists. Fingertips to shoulders, up and down through both arms. Feel it moving through the flesh and bone. Focus on your feet. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Focus your awareness there. Toes to heels through the whole of both feet. Move your awareness through all the flesh and bones of your feet. Feeling all of your feet as your awareness moves through them. Feet to hips, up and down through both legs. Energy balls up through the legs to your hip joints, back down to your feet. Now focus on the base of your neck, where it joins your shoulders, and imagine and feel a disc of energy like a coaster forming over your right shoulder, like a shining disc of energy. And move that into your neck, through the lower vertebrae, and out of the left-hand side, and slice that side to side through your neck, feeling it moving through your vertebrae. And just practice that for a minute, feeling it moving through the neck and getting a feel for that flat shape. about half a second each way. Keep it moving, a nice smooth action, not too slow. As you're going side to side, move it up a millimetre, a few thousandths of an inch. Every time it goes left to right, raise it a tiny little bit. And work your way up through the neck, side to side. Keep slicing with the disc, get that action going. It'll take on a motion of its own after a little while. It's very easy to keep going. As you're doing this silently in your mind, just make a couple of statements. My neck is straight and healthy. My neck is strong and healthy. My neck is straight and perfect. Just say that a couple of times while you are moving the disc side to side. If you have an injury in your neck, you can just focus the action around that injury, so it's more localized. Now focus that disc at the front of the base of your neck, near your throat chakra, and move it backward and forwards through your neck and vertebrae. Backward and forwards disc action. And again, work it up a little bit each time as it goes backward and forwards. And silently make a couple of statements. Say, the vertebrae in my neck are perfectly formed and whole. The vertebrae in my neck are perfect. The discs in my neck are fat and healthy. My neck is strong and healthy. I want you to switch to a wrapping action, like you've got a little bandage, about 2 or 3 inch bandage, and you're wrapping it around the vertebrae. Not around the neck. Go inside the neck to your spine, to your neck, the vertebrae. And feel it wrapping around the vertebrae as if you were bandaging it. And you can imagine that the bandage is soaking into the vertebrae and adding a healing substance to it. Clockwise or anti-clockwise, it doesn't matter. Work on the vertebrae, up and down. Now stop that, and I want you to imagine in front of you, you're holding up your right hand, or your left hand if you're left-handed, doesn't matter. And imagine that you are holding a blowtorch with a nice roaring flame coming out of it. Just imagine you're holding up in front of you. It's a golden colour. Just imagine the features, the hand grip, the little bulb, the little nozzle and the flame gushing out of it. And you can make that flame really, really big so it's like a flamethrower, or you can focus it down to a tight little cutting torch type tip. And just make a statement a couple of times. Just say, my golden torch burns away disease. My golden torch burns away injuries. My golden torch cleanses my body. Now, with your imaginary hand and torch, I want you to imagine a flame about 6 inches long, nice roaring tight flame, white or blue, any colour you like will do, as long as it's a clear colour. And move this with your imaginary hand, move the flame into your neck, onto the vertebrae. This won't hurt you, it only burns away disease and injuries. And just imagine that flame pouring through the vertebrae and discs, burning away little nodes of bone growth and scar tissue, injuries, and just imagine that roaring through the vertebrae, cleansing it, burning away diseased tissue, warming it up, loosening it. Imagine you're hearing a roaring sound like a real blowtorch, a real cutting torch. Just imagine and feel the flame penetrating the vertebrae and discs and getting into all the little spaces and cleansing it away, and perfecting it. And just wave it up and down through the vertebrae from the top to the base of your neck. Burning scar tissue away from your discs. Again, you can say a silent statement affirmation here. My neck is strong and healthy. My neck is straight and perfect. Just keep this up for a minute. Really get in touch with the inside of your body, with the vertebrae, the discs, the nerves, the tendons. Almost see it. You can feel it, imagine it. Right, now let go of the torch and just push it to the side. And in front of you, hold up your hand and imagine you are holding a similar device. It's got a little pot on it as well, a little handle. It's a little spray gun, the type you would use to spray paint a car or something, or to spray stuff onto your roses. It's golden, it's got a handle on it, a pot and a nozzle. And just imagine that golden in front of you. And make a statement in your mind as you look at it. Say, my golden spray gun cools and soothes. my golden spray gun gushes water element. My golden spray gun cools and soothes my body. And then you can impart any other intentions which is suitable for what you want to do. Just imagine you're holding it out in front of you. The more you use these tools, the more solid they become and the more specific. You're actually creating a thought form here. Now just imagine this spray gun has got a little spraying nozzle on it and it's spraying like a shower head. It's spraying water. Beautiful bluey green sparkling water. And as you're spraying it, imagine it's spraying, imagine wet feelings. And remember what it's like to be in the shower, the feeling of water spraying, the smell of water, the smell of rain, wet feelings coming out of it. And imagine it spraying cooling, beautiful water. And move this into your neck and spray it through the tissue directly into the vertebrae and tendons and discs in your neck. As it's spraying, imagine and feel this cool spray of water spraying through your flesh and vertebrae, washing away disease, bone chips, smoke, scar tissue being sluiced away, just like you would be if you were using a real hose. Feeling wet feelings going into your neck. Cooling, soothing, reducing inflammation. Focus as intensely as you can on that action, feeling it and imagining it. You may not actually see anything, just feel it and imagine it. And make a couple of statements. My neck is strong and healthy. My neck is straight and perfect. And spray it up and down through the vertebrae. Keep imagining the spray gun, but now imagine that the spray gun is spraying a cool, pale blue healing foam, like shaving cream. And it's spraying this foam into your vertebrae, and imagine it's building up, just like shaving cream would. But as it builds up into mounds, you feel it sinking into the vertebrae, adding to its substance, healing it, filling in any dents and cracks, soaking into the discs, filling the discs up. Just imagine cool, pale blue healing foam. Hissing into your neck, soaking into the vertebrae. Shift the spray gun out in front of you again and look at it and imagine it's spraying cool, clean water again. And turn the spray gun around and move it into your left eye and imagine it spraying a gentle spray of cool, clear, sparkling water into your left eye. And not just over the eye, but inside of the eye. And imagine it's the water spraying into your socket and then filling the socket and running down your face. Build up a little bit of pressure and feel yourself gently spraying the eyeball and the lens of the eye and the inside parts. And get in touch with your left eyeball. Feel it, imagine it. And make a couple of statements. Focused on your left eye, spraying with water. My eye is clear and healthy. My eyesight is perfect. The lens of my eye is clean and perfect. My eye focuses perfectly. My eye is strong and healthy. My vision is clear and bright. And imagine the lens of your eye being washed clean like a clean window, sparkling and bright. Now shift over to your right eyeball and do the same. Washing, cleansing, making some healing statements. Move the spray gun out of you again and imagine it now starts spraying pure white fluid, cleansing, healing white fluid, brilliant white. And move the spray gun in with a suitable spray like a dentist would use and move it into your mouth. And imagine it spraying through the mouth and your teeth and work your way through your teeth from side to side like you would do with a toothbrush. And I want you to imagine your teeth as being brilliant white, perfect, healthy. Just see them. Imagine them as being perfect. This pure white fluid spraying into it like toothpaste. Imagine it tastes like toothpaste. And make the statements, my teeth are white and healthy. My teeth are strong and healthy. My teeth are white and perfect. And imagine the white fluid making them even more perfect, gleaming white. And relax. What I do, and I recommend, and it gets quite addictive, over the years of your life you tend to accumulate some injuries and things get broken and hurt, and every night I go to sleep I spend time doing exactly what we're doing here now. I work on my neck, I work on my teeth, my eyes, my shoulders, my spine, any part of me that needs attention, that needs to grow, that needs to be renewed. And I work on my whole body. My body is strong and healthy. My body is young and strong and healthy. And I imagine myself being about the age of 30. And I make statements. My physical age is 30, 35. Pick an age that you would like to be, that is acceptable to you. And I work my way through my body. I mean, I've got knee injuries, I've got big hernias and stuff like that. Whatever you've got wrong with you, or whatever hurts, work on that. Work on your sore knees, your feet, your toes, and work your way through the body. And if you can't sleep, this is a really good thing to do if you can't sleep, because you've got insomnia. If you start doing this, it's so absorbing, your physical body will fall asleep while you're doing it, and it will rest, but your mind stays active. And you can spend hours doing this, exploring the deep recesses of your own body, and you'll find the results on this are quite amazing. I've healed toothaches and things like that. I got a toothache once 6 months ago after a filling fell out, and it really, really hurt. Nothing I could do. I cleaned it and brushed it. It really hurt, woke me up in the middle of the night. And I sat there and I focused my attention of body awareness on there. And you'll find if you've got a painful area, particularly a toothache or a headache, when you focus your body awareness there, it increases the pain. It makes it hurt a bit more, which is a bit of a deterrent. But try and ignore that, because pain in the physical body tends to galvanize the body's own self-repair facilities. For example, it's well known that if you have a broken bone, if you don't take any painkillers, it will heal in half the time, because if it hurts, the body's self-healing mechanism is stimulated more strongly. Similar thing. Now, I kept this up for moving my body awareness through that area, using the spray gun and the torch and the affirmations. My teeth were perfect, and that took 2 hours. And then it suddenly went. Never came back. And anything like that happens to you, if you get a pain, work on it like this. I mean, go and see a doctor, take painkillers, of course, do what you need to do. But this really works. You just got to put the time into it. And depending on the severity of the injury and what's causing it, there's an equation, how much time it will take to heal that. But if you're a stubborn SOB like me, it's I don't give up. I'll be up all night doing it. I just know it works, so I'm going to do it. And I try and focus my awareness and affirmations very specifically to enhance the power. It's like a lens, a big magnifying glass. You have light coming down through that, and then you focus it to a burning point. And that's what we're doing here with the specific body awareness actions, the tools, the intentions we program it with, and the affirmations we're making. We're making healing much more specific. And and it's a lot of fun. You can really get lost in your body. It's a lot of fun exploring it. I mean, your heart, you work through the heart and the arteries and the veins. The blood flows strongly through my heart and arteries. Your legs, my veins and arteries in my legs are clear and perfect. The blood flows strongly through my veins. And work your way through the whole body, everything for health. And it really, really makes a difference. It really helps. I'm sure you're realising that by now. This is a really wonderful thing. Any questions on that? Problems before we move on? One over there, okay.
Is there anything you do on a daily basis for general well-being? Yeah. Obviously, you could spend hours doing this, but is there anything that you do, like a 15-minute protocol that you do to maintain your overall good health?
Yeah, good. Yes, I do. Every day, no matter how busy I am, I will find 5 or 10 minutes to work on my neck and my back, which I've got like 7 badly ruptured discs and that in my neck, injuries over the years. And I'll bounce through that wherever it's hurting the most, and I say my spine is straight and healthy, my neck is straight and healthy. I mean, I've been to hell with this neck, and it's like I don't want to go back there, and this is working. So yeah, I'm very, very keen to do this every day. And I'll spend 5 or 10 minutes on it, and then I do a general one over my body. My body is strong and healthy, and I imagine and feel my entire body image here. And I move my awareness up and down, like scanning it with the big disc we were using yesterday, like the big ball, and I scan through the body, so I'm getting a good feel for it. My body is strong and healthy. My body is strong and healthy. My physical weight is 82 kilos. My body is strong and healthy. And that's it. 5 or 10 minutes a day of doing that for general well-being and health is, that's a good overall one. If you don't have anything particularly you want to work on, that's a good general healing thing, like taking vitamins for the day. And working on that as well, also by giving yourself general healing like that. Also be a little bit vigilant with part of your mind as well in your day-to-day life after that, because you will often get people come up to you and advise you of things, or you'll see something on the television or see something in a magazine that's been circled. Synchronicity will come to you, and you look at that and say, oh, that looks interesting, and it's just being led your way, and your higher self is working through everybody and everything around you to bring this magazine article to you while you're taking a friend to the doctor's surgery, and you pick it up and say, and something will kind of click. And like somebody mentioned to me earlier about colloidal silver, and I thought, I've heard a lot about that. I'll have to go and get some. And I felt that little click, that little connection there. I need to do that. And a couple of other things, chelation therapy came to me the other day as well, because I cut myself and I tasted my blood, and it tasted very metallic. It tasted like like aluminum can. Something's been sitting. I could taste like aluminum, sort of metallic taste in it. And I thought, ooh. I worked in an aluminum refinery for 10 years. So I'm looking at ways. And then I met somebody, a naturopath, a friend of my son's wife who was there, who started telling me about this. You got to get this stuff here. It's really great for removing heavy metals from your body, and that. It's some herbal thing you take that bonds with the heavy metals and removes them from your body. So, and that came before I mentioned to her, oh, that's interesting. And I told her about the metallic taste in my blood, and she said, oh, this will really help. So and being vigilant is a part of the healing process. Trying to work with your higher self is, it helps the whole healing process to work better, rather than just relying upon energy and miracle type of healing. I mean, your body is capable of performing miracles, but it works a lot better. It's a lot easier if you give your body the tools for the job, the right supplements, the right vitamins, whatever it needs, the right proteins and diet, and your body will work better and heal better. Yes?
Yes, as we were doing our exercise, my question basically is, sometimes in the healing there's certain emotions associated with the left and the right, and I noticed when we were doing the eyes, the left eye was nice and clear, no problem, but I got to my right eye, and I felt like there was some debris in there, and my left eye has always been stronger than my right eye, and it was the first time I really brought attention that maybe I should be doing some work on my right eye, and I was wondering if there's significance of emotions or what type, anything, whether it's the right or left or something like that, and what would it mean?
I'm not really sure of that. I mean, hermetically speaking, one side is electric, one side is magnetic, and that it can get a bit complicated and doesn't make a lot of sense unless you've studied hermetics. But what you were feeling there is awesome. The feelings there, you felt something intuitively in the body awareness action as you're working on one eye was different to the other. And you felt there was some debris, something in there. This is energetic. You're feeling some energetic structures in there which are like debris, like damage. And what is this? This one feels clear, this isn't clear. And what your body is telling you here, this needs more work. So do more work on this one here, and I would suggest some regular work, a few minutes every night, washing it out with the blowtorch, even using the flaming blowtorch in there to burn away that debris, and imagine and feel it exploding and popping and smoke coming off it and ash building up, and then wash it all away and use some specific affirmations on that area, and you'll find it will make progress. And but yeah, trust your intuition and instincts. When you feel a part of your body, as you become used to body awareness actions, you'll find it's very, very specific. It will pick up the slightest little thing as you're passing your awareness through it. You can really come to grips with your physical body, internal organs. You get to know your liver. Mate, your liver's your best friend. Oh yeah, I love my liver. This is important too. Loving your body here, as we were talking about love before, it's important to love your body parts as well. And if there's any body parts that you don't love, you are setting up the soil here for problems. If you don't like your stomach, my stomach's big and it's floppy and I don't like it and that, hate it, you're going to get all kinds of problems because you don't love your stomach. It's like each part of you is like a little person. It's like a little child. It's like, you don't love me, Yeah, of course, if you do that to a child, the child gets upset and starts acting up and it causes all kind of problems. Look at your body parts as like your children. They're all a part of you. And you need every little bit of you to work perfectly, to be really, really happy in life. And if there's something about you that you don't like, change it. Work on it with affirmations. Diet, health, anything to get it working, whatever it is. I'm working with people here, changing your body parts through affirmations works as well. I've had a number of women over the last couple of years come up to me, and there's problems with, the tummy's a bit, loose and wrinkly or whatever. They've had children and that, and they feel bad about it, and they don't really like it. And affirmations and intention, working on that. My stomach is strong and healthy. The skin of my stomach is tight and pink and healthy. And if you can inspire people to put the work in, you put the hours of work into that, and hey, a couple of weeks later, hey, my tummy's not looking too bad today. And it starts to work. And women who have breasts which are a bit small or odd-shaped or one's bigger than the other sort of thing, it's a little thing, but it's, it's important, to your self-image and how you feel on that. So work on that. It's like asking for money, trying to manifest money, trying to improve your body so that you're happy with it. You love your body. So focus your intention in there, and work on your breasts and imagining the size being larger and the shape you want and things like that. And I've had lots of people, different parts of their body and that. And the response, if you put the work in the body, is amazing. I've had women have grown like 2 bra sizes over the last, 6 months and that. And it's like, a woman who's like between an A or a B, depending on the fit there, now she's a C. It's like, whoa, I'm looking good. And she's lost weight. Just working, no change but affirmations and visualization of intention. Putting the work in, you get them inspired. And the people that get results like this are the people that say, okay, you've got an hour and a half each day when you're driving to and from work and doing this. Turn the radio off. Do verbal affirmations. Work it like you mean it. How much do you want this to happen? Put the work in. You'll walk the walk. Your beliefs and faith will catch up with you. Just go through this. Just believe me. Put the hours of work in, and you'll find as your body starts to change, your beliefs, your faith will start rising. Hey, this is really working. I keep doing this. And yeah, it absolutely works. You just got to put the work in. And inspiring people is 99% of the battle is to inspire people for microphone to actually do the work. Oh, sorry, you're there.
Have you seen any contraindication of this work on pregnancy women? The reason I'm asking this is because my wife is pregnant and we do energy work, and when she starts running energies, she gets lightheaded.
Lightheaded?
Yeah.
Lightheaded. I've worked with a lot of pregnant women over the years, the 15 years I've been doing this, all through pregnancy up until birth, and in all cases, you take it easy. If something makes you feel a bit lightheaded, stop. The general rule of the golden rule of energy work, You'll hear me say this over and over again. If you're doing anything energetically that makes you feel a bit funny or odd or off or uncomfortable, stop what you're doing, take a break, relax, focus on grounding in real life. Go sit outside and have a cup of tea or something, go for a walk. And then recommence it later on, because sometimes you disturb things in the body because you're working with the nerves and that, which can cause reactions, which can make you feel a bit funny. But in all cases, the women who've done the energy work through their pregnancy, they've all had easy births, no problems whatsoever. It's probably, 7 or 8 women I've worked with over the years. It's always had really good results. And the woman seems to be more prepared for birth than normal. The births are quite easy. The body's very prepared for it. And yeah, I've had no problems whatsoever reported to me, apart from the proviso of the golden rule. If you do anything, makes you feel a bit funny, you don't want to, push it. Because some of this is, I've made a lot of observations here and tested, but some of this is unknown territory. Now, there's a duty of care there. You've got to be careful and take it easy and just use a bit of common sense. Yes, sir?
Yes, I work in addiction treatment, and the AA and NA community have a lot of affirmations. The one that applies here, it works if you work it. And the ones that do, it works. They get sober.
Absolutely. I've got some friends who work in the AA movement in Australia, and I had an alcohol problem myself, say a year ago when I was felt like I was dying. I'd overwork and God knows what. I thought it was a God. I've become an alcoholic. I can't stop drinking every night. It's like obsessive and that. And in the time I decided, no, I'm not doing this. I choose life. And I started hammering the affirmations. The urge to drink disappeared in 3 days. The next day it was tolerable. 3 days later it disappeared. And that's been a year, no urges whatsoever. And but the difference, I was really hammering the affirmations, 8, 12 hours a day. And if you can inspire people to do the affirmations, it urges, because you're working with a higher power here, which has all the power here. It's a simple matter for your higher self to reach down literally and go click, reduce, turn the addiction switch off. Simple shift, It's getting people to do the work, which is the key. And as you say, people are resistant, they run around in circles, and usually in that situation, they don't really want help. More suffering is required for a deeper reason. Yes, sir?
These guys tried at 20 and 22, and then when they come back at 30, they do the work.
Yeah.
Then they stay sober.
Yeah. Yeah, it's often the way, isn't it? Yeah. Fascinating thing, and it's and it absolutely works. This works on anything. It's particularly effective on addictions and things like that. As I say, I'm working on smoking now, which is probably a deeper-seated addiction in me than alcohol was. But yeah, didn't see that one coming. But it works. It's all good. Now, what I love about my life is, life leads you into a point where you get run down and really sick and ruptured disc, pneumonia, oh God, I'm an alcoholic, whatever and that. And then by healing myself, I learn something. And then I see the wisdom in my life of why life led me into that situation down there. And then, because it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't really have understood the healing process with these things here. When you go through it yourself, you know it, you own it. And then you can empower other people, teach and help other people more effectively. Because it doesn't work if you're just working on theory. It doesn't work. A teacher has to talk from personal experience really to be really effective, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What affirmation exactly did you use for your the drinking problem?
Oh, good question. I'm trying to remember what I did. I worked around it. I used some commands. Now, keep in mind, when I started this, I was literally 8, 12 hours a day. I didn't sleep. Long as 16 hours some days. And I stayed up all night, put the body to sleep, keep the mind working. And I made some commands in my mind. I choose not to drink in response to this big negative movement up here saying, yes, you do. And I say, no, I don't. Yes, you do. So I choose not to drink. Plus affirmations for my body is clean, my blood is clean and healthy, my immune system is strong. I choose not to drink. a mixture of common sense affirmations in that perfect. Other affirmations I used were, I am sober and healthy. I am clean, sober and healthy. My brain is clear and focused. And things that work around, things that would happen, my brain is clear and sharp and focused. My memory is great. Things which, in order to have, you need to be sober and more healthy. Otherwise, you're not going to get them. Like before, working on the smoking, you don't mention smoking. You say, my lungs are clean and healthy. And the intimation here is the only way your higher self can manifest that, the easiest way, is to remove the smoking urge, so you stop smoking. And so working through the same sort of principles, if you have a person who has a serious drinking problem, I wasn't a bad alcoholic, 1 or 2 bottles of red wine a night. Yeah, and good red wine too. Australia, we grow a lot there. And working around the problem. So if you had an addiction like that, I would work on what you would want to achieve in your life, the focus, the grounded nature here, the memory, the clarity of mind, which you get through sobriety. I would focus on all those good things there and less on the actual drinking. I mean, if you're getting obsessive thoughts coming into your head to have a drink, I use commands like I choose not to drink to counter those thoughts, which is probably a clear way of explaining it. But for the actual healing itself, I focus on having good health and clarity now. So it was interesting. I should take notes. Oh, they're recording it. This is great. I can take notes.
I have a
Saves me
question.
taking notes here. I love what I do here. I'm learning. This is really good. Yeah, we're learning. Yeah,
Robert,
the truth is here.
I have
Sorry?
a question about healing genetic inheritable diseases.
Yes.
Do you use a different process or just more of the same to heal those? Like for children, you can see tendencies that came from father, grandfather, etc.
The process is the same, regardless of some of the technical reasons for these things, genetically and spiritually, can be enormously complex, going back through many generations. I mean, you're talking not only genetics, but family curses and things, famines they've lived through, all kinds of things coming down through the lines, which can cause these things to happen. But if you focus on health and perfection, and affirm the perfection, affirm the health, as if it were already so. I think every holy book in the world talks about this. If you imagine something as if it already was, it will be like that. I think it even says in the Bible and things like that. You imagine something as if it were already so, and it will be so. And all the holy books and teachings of masters teach us about this sort of thing. And but most people, the majority of people, don't really get it. What this actually means. This is wisdom coming down through various translations, and it's not very, very clear, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to the Western mind. But this sort of work that we're doing here now does make sense. It's very logical. It's understandable. Hey, I get that. I'll do that. You have to understand something. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. And this bringing your higher self / source down from beyond the clouds, down off the mountain into you, right next to you. When you can understand how that works, then, I understand that. That's how it works. I mean, otherwise you're talking to something that's up in the clouds there. It's like you wonder, is anybody listening? It's like, how does this work? And yeah, it works. Yes, sir?
What if you have a presentation coming up or performance or something like that, and you want to remain calm, as much as possible when you're performing or speaking?
Yeah, that works. I've heard
not go blank, if you have an authority figure you have to deal with.
I occasionally get a blank. I just laugh now. I get quite at home up here now. It's like, yeah. Or somebody said at a workshop I did before, wow, you're so comfortable up there. There's me plucking nose hairs and something. I just forget where I am. It's like my own living room. But yeah, I've done that a few times. I've spoken to presenters that before they go and do a presentation, they they close their eyes for a few minutes and imagine they're getting up there, and they use affirmations. I give the best presentation of my life. I'm really on. Make really positive affirmations for what you want to be, as if it already was so, that you're already up there giving the best presentation of your life. And people that do that swear by it. I mean, I do a little bit of that myself before I came on here. I was really jet lagged and feeling a bit loopy. And so I did a few affirmations that I'm really centered, I'm strong and, alert, and I'm giving a good presentation, and, everybody's happy. And I imagine this lovely interaction between you guys and me with the truth up here shining down upon us here and feeding us and teaching us here, which is what this process is all about. That's why I'm here. I'm sure that's why you're here too. But it's the truth, which is the whole reason for us being here. That's what makes everything work. So, yes?
I have a family member who's a kind, decent, gentle, healthy young person, age 30, about to be sent to Iraq. Could you make some suggestions for some kind of energy work or affirmations that might provide some protection against God knows what?
They're called bullets and shrapnel. Oh, yuck, yeah. I was called up for Vietnam when I was 17 years old. And in that day then, I was a young sailor in the Merchant Navy. And I thought, wow, this is cool. They get to give you a uniform and you go camping, and they give you a real gun and all this cool stuff. It's like, I think every young man in a situation like thinks that, and oh my God, what they would have done to me. Fortunately, I was in a reserved occupation. They wouldn't let me go. They said, no, you'd have to actually quit and resign from that service and then come and volunteer, because the call-up excluded people in certain occupations, mercantile, marine and things like that. But back to what you're saying there is, I would do affirmations for that person's health and safety and for their well-being in their mind, that they are relaxed and healthy, and also helping them to get a kind of a job over there which is safe and useful and happy. Apart from, you could also imagine a shield around them. Imagine a glowing shield around them. This shield of light protects this person from all harm. And put the work in. If you put the work in, spend half an hour or so a day or more. If something important's happening, put a lot more work in. This is like the power of prayer. Prayer is very similar to affirmations, works on the same principles. Affirmations, intention, invoking higher powers. No matter how you do it, it's all working through the same forces here. So absolutely, whether you're healing somebody or you want changes or safety and protection and health for them, and also to protect them psychologically as well from, if they're a gentle person and going into a war zone, that does things to people. It's can change you, but you can help a person to, protect them from those horrors. And God bless them.
My sister's 3-year-old grandchild is autistic.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you have anything special that you've ever worked with autistic kids, or have anything special to suggest.
I haven't worked with many. I've worked with children with various disorders, and that the affirmations and healing can help enormously in this case to get major changes. You're talking about the creator of the universe here, has the ultimate power. Now, if you focus those intentions on the child you're working with and seeing the improvement as if it already was, focusing on their clarity of mind, their health, and all the other problems as if they already were perfect. So the amount of work you put into that and the number of people doing that. If you can get a big bunch of people doing that for a few minutes a day, the accumulation of energy put in by the number of people added up. You get 100 people doing it for 10 minutes a day, you multiply that, or one person doing it for several hours a day. There's a formula there. But also, some people and children that have disorders I've worked with, who I go up to them and give them healing. And I look at this child, and I worked with this gorgeous little boy in LA a couple of years ago, little Clinton. He was like 10 years old, and he was like, that tall, terribly twisted little baby size, had these horrific health problems and that. And as soon as I saw this child, I looked into his eyes, and tears burst into mine, not for sympathy, as I saw the spirit looking back at me was incredibly advanced, and it was like being in the presence of God. And I knew there was like a communication ensued between me and the child, and the child had chosen this very, very difficult life, and it was a manifestation of the parents' religious beliefs and things that they'd done, and that their belief in that they needed to be punished, and the child was a part of the punishment which his parents had manifested. And I tried to work with the parents, and that it just won't go there. Can't even go near it. That the mother, a devout Christian, had an abortion at the age of 18, and she had an affair as well. As soon as I saw her, bang, all this vision played out in my head, and I saw everything. And so I approached those areas, but it was like a big no-go zone. And we had some lovely interactions with that child. And then it was like my meeting was timed. I gave the child a lot of healing, and took him off the painkillers, and that child was very, very comfortable and happy and sitting up. And 2 weeks later, he just died. And but he died. And often with people, when you give them healing, the pain goes away. This is quite normal as a healer. You may not be able to save a person because this is set in motion and nothing's going to change that end. But you can help with the pain. You can help with the fear, and do a lot as a healer. Right, any more questions? We're running out of time. It's sad. I keep saying, winding the clock back.
What is that 5-9?
Oh, playing, okay, yeah. Have we got 5 minutes? Oh, 2 things, yeah, great. Thanks for reminding me, yeah. I didn't realise I've written that, yeah. Right, an immune system booster. I got a chill last night. I forgot my big coat, and my friend Frank gave me some healing, and last night and this morning I was still feeling a bit, you can feel a cold coming on, like a flu sort of thing. Oh no, I've got work to do. And what I do, and it works most of the time, just because you're a healer and that doesn't mean you won't ever get sick. You'll still get colds and things occasionally. A lot of people I know, if they're a healer, if they get a cold or something, they go and hide from all their friends. Oh no, I've got a cold. No, I'm human, I'm not perfect. And it's like, I've known people to leave town for a week, called away on business. They got the flu. It's like becomes egotistical. I mean, we're all human, but this works most of the time. We'll do a little practice here. Your immune system of your body, most of the white cell blood production occurs in your thighs, in the thigh bones, in the marrow of your thighs. Now, you can connect with the bone marrow in your thighs with body awareness. And what I do is a combination of rapid, heavy pumping action in the thigh area from my knees to my hips here through the thigh bones, focusing very, very deeply to get into the bones. And when you get into the bones, you'll notice a little tickly, sort of uncomfortable sort of a feeling there. It's a little bit, sort of a odd sort of a feeling when you get in touch with the deeper parts of your bones and marrow. It's not painful or anything, it just feels a little bit tender. But if you rapidly stimulate that, you cause an increase in bioelectrical activity there that stimulates the immune system. And if you catch a cold or something coming on as quickly as you can, as soon as you feel the symptoms coming on, go to the washroom, whatever, put by 10 or 15 minutes, sit down, pound those thighs as hard and as fast as you can, and say the affirmation, my immune system is perfect, my immune system is strong and healthy, my immune system destroys all virus, my blood is clean and healthy, while you're pounding those here. We'll just do a little practice here now, just for a minute. Just put your legs side by side, don't cross your legs, it makes it much harder. And just focus on your knees, give your knees a little bit of a wiggle, and big energy balls from the knees, move them up through your thighs to your hips. and back down to your knees again. Up and down. That's it. Give them a little rub to feel the pathway if you want to. Up and down, and then move the awareness through them. Feel the energy bouncing up and down like two energy balls bouncing up and down through your thighs. Trying to feel it deep inside your thigh bones. And as you feel, you start becoming comfortable with that, and you feel in touch with the inner parts of your legs. Start speeding it up. And focus 110% on that. Put a bit of effort into this. Focus all of your awareness in that area, and then start increasing the speed and the pressure. There's like an intensity you can put into it that makes the energy balls more solid. And when you build up a bit of pace here and you start really pounding them, your body may want to pant and move. Go with that. Let your body pant and let your body sway. It helps with the energy flow. We're doing it now. Start pounding it backward and forwards. And play around with your breathing a little bit while you're doing that, and try not to let the body awareness get too locked into your breathing cycle. So vary your breathing, because sometimes it gets too locked in. And one, it can make you breathe too slowly, or it can make you breathe too fast and you hyperventilate. So be aware of that. Just keep the pounding going. Big, powerful movements, backward and forwards through your thigh bones. If you're having difficulties with one going slower than the other, do opposing movements. Start from one knee and the other hip, and go in opposite actions like this. It does the same thing. As long as you can move it powerfully, that's the most important thing. Well, now just for a few seconds, amp it up to 200% intensity. Everything you've got, just pound it up and down through the thighs, just for a few seconds. Doesn't matter if you tense up. Your body can tense, it'll still work. And relax. If you do that for 5 or 10 minutes when you feel the first onset of any kind of virus or flu or cold, it will normally, 9 times out of 10, stop it cold. You'll get up from that and it's gone. Because sometimes when you're just getting a virus, your immune system is struggling and the virus is starting to take hold. If you give your immune system a little bit of a jump start, it'll, take some vitamin C in that as well. Give it a bit of a boost, bang, it nails it. The virus is dead. Doesn't need much. Sometimes it loses the battle, the virus gets control, and then you're sick for days. But just give it the boost it needs just at the right time. And even if it comes down and you can't get to this, and over the day, it sets in and you start to feel really, really bad. Hammering this, do more time on it. Spend an hour or so doing this here, and you'll find it will, the symptoms will either disappear, you have full onset by then, or you'll have what was a nasty influenza that may have lasted a week or two, you'll find it turns into like a mild cold for 2 or 3 days and it goes away. So it makes a big difference. So on that note, thank you all for having me. We're out of time. It's been an absolute pleasure.